Have you ever really stopped to look around you? I mean, really look? Your home, the road outside, that giant skyscraper downtown? Chances are they're all made of the same stuff. We're talking about concrete. And it's the most used material on Earth by people, right after water. But this is not just a story about some boring gray goo. Oh no, it's so much cooler than that. Every single year, humanity uses 30 billion tons of this stuff. That is an absolutely mind-boggling number. It's enough to build an entire New York City from scratch every single year. It's literally the foundation of our modern world. And yet, the core idea, it's ancient. The Romans were using their own version of it more than 2,000 years ago to build things that are still standing today. How is that possible? So, what is the big secret? How does a wet, sloshy mix of what looks like mud and gravel turn into a material strong enough to hold back a river? Now, the biggest mistake people make is thinking it just dries out, like a mud puddle baking in the sun. But that's not it at all. The truth is way more incredible. It's a chemical reaction happening at the atomic level, and we're about to peel back all of its secrets. Okay, so to get what's happening, we've got to start with the ingredients. And that means we have to clear up probably the most common mix-up in all of construction. You've probably heard people use the words cement and concrete like they're the same thing. They are not. Think of it like this. If you're baking a cake, cement is the flour. It's that key ingredient, that magic powder. It's the glue. Concrete, on the other hand, is the whole cake batter. It's the finished mix with everything in it ready to go. So what's in that final mix? Well, the bulk of it, the real heavy lifter, is aggregate. That's just crushed rock and gravel. Then you've got sand, which fills in all the little gaps between the bigger rocks. Then comes the water, and it's not just for making it wet, it's the activator. It kicks the whole thing off. And finally, you have that magic powder, the cement, which acts as the superglue holding the whole shebang together. And when that water hits the cement powder, it starts what is arguably the most important chemical reaction in all of construction. It's called hydration, and you gotta get this. The water doesn't just evaporate, it chemically fuses with the cement. It becomes one with it, forming completely new, rock-solid structures from the atoms up. And this is where things get really wild. The secret to concrete's incredible strength isn't just one simple bond. Oh no, it's the creation of a tangled, microscopic web of crystals. Let's zoom in, way, way in, and see how this thing is built. The absolute star of the show here is a compound with a, let's be honest, pretty clunky name, calcium silicate hydrate. We're just going to call it CSH. This stuff is the main product of that hydration reaction, and it is the single source of concrete's almost superhuman strength. So here's how it plays out. The second water hits the cement, billions of these tiny needle-like CSH crystals just start sprouting off of every single grain of cement powder. Now picture the sand and gravel in the mix as giant boulders. These CSH fibers are like microscopic ropes that grow out, tangle up, and weave into each other, locking every single one of those boulders into an unmovable position. What you end up with is this atomic web, a crazy dense, completely interlocked matrix. It's what takes a loose pile of rocks and turns it into one solid, monolithic block of man-made stone. And this unique structure is what gives concrete its superpower, immense compressive strength. That's its ability to resist being crushed by unbelievable forces. But like any good superhero, concrete has a weakness, a fatal flaw, really. It's unbelievably strong in one way, but shockingly weak in another. To become the ultimate building material we know and love, it needed a partner. So here's the problem. You can stack a mountain on top of concrete and it's fine, but try to pull it apart or bend it, it has almost zero tensile strength. It just snaps. A long beam made of only concrete would actually break right in half under its own weight. It's that brittle. And the solution to this fatal flaw is so simple, it's brilliant. We just add steel reinforcement bars, which everyone calls rebar. We build a cage of this steel, and then we pour the liquid concrete all around it. And together, they are the perfect team, an unstoppable duo. The concrete handles all the crushing forces, no problem, and the steel rebar inside handles any pulling or bending forces. But, and this is the secret bonus, the real genius of it, concrete is naturally super alkaline. Its high pH creates this little chemical force field around the steel that stops it from rusting. So the concrete protects the steel and the steel protects the concrete. It's a perfect partnership. Which brings us to our final and maybe the most mind-blowing secret about concrete. You see, when the concrete sets and gets hard, the process isn't Over. Not by a long shot. In fact, it never is. That hydration reaction, the one that grows all those little CSH crystals, it never actually stops. Sure, concrete hits its main design strength in about a month, but it keeps getting stronger for years, for decades, even for centuries, as those crystals just keep slowly growing and interlocking. This is exactly why those Roman structures are still around. Their concrete has been getting stronger for 2,000 years. So really, the big takeaway here is this. Concrete isn't some static, boring block. It's a dynamic, ongoing chemical process. When you look at a concrete wall, you're not just looking at a finished product. You're watching a slow-motion geological event that will unfold for centuries. So the next time you're walking down the street, just think about it. The sidewalk under your feet isn't just a slab of rock. It's a living piece of chemistry, growing a tiny bit stronger with every single day that passes. How cool is that? What other everyday boring things do you think are hiding some incredible science? Let me know down in the comments. And hey, if you had fun decoding this modern marvel with me, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives.